everybody. It's Leslie with the answers to a lot of your questions, and it is, how do you know somebody specific is thinking about you? How do you really know that, and how do you know that they care? And we're going to go through this with this little workshop and hope it helps. I hope you'll let me know. By the way, I really want to truly appreciate all your wonderful comments this month. They were really, really nice. Very nice. And also I'd like to thank you for listening to it. And if you like it a lot, please subscribe to me. And please really subscribe. It would help me an awful lot. And tell your friends about it. Send it to your friends and have them subscribe. That would help me tremendously. You can imagine with YouTube. Because everybody has to get a good following for things to pick up, things to come and watch it. So it's advertised some. But thank you. So here we are. How do you know that certain someone is thinking of you? It is, and excuse me for reading because it's a lot to say here. When you're in a relationship with someone and you're thinking about them and they're thinking about you, that's probably very normal, very, very normal. But when someone is gone and you're thinking about them and they're thinking about you, you've broken up or they've left you or something, that means they are thinking about you. Definitely. It's especially if they keep coming in your mind. One of the signs, it's a very common sign, and some of you may have really had it, I'm sure, is your ears burning. And when your ears are burning, this is very common. Your ears are burning, that is when they're thinking about you. And they may even be talking about you. And they may be ringing. When they're ringing, for sure, they will be talking about you to others and how much they miss you. And so that is your energy and your intuition is what's going to help you. Follow your intuition if you really feel that way, because you'll have that knowing feeling like someone is looking at you. They know you're looking at them. You're thinking about them and really thinking about them. And you might even get some hang-up phone calls. You might hear someone going by your house late at night. Could be one of those things just to see what you're doing. And remember, follow your intuition. Every and all the time you think of someone, they come into your mind more and more. Very often, very, very often. You know, when you really think, I'm not going to think about them anymore, I put that out of my mind, I have this to do, I have that to do, and you think about them. They are thinking about you, for sure. And this is, I'm trying to tell you things that really are. They really are. They really exist. When someone is gone, especially when they're gone, because of a breakup, or like I said, or they just left, they leave you, you want them back. You really want them back, and this is very true in many cases. When not thinking of them, they show up often in your mind. They show up, and then you do think of them. And most of you are very visual also. If you would see them, if you'd see a picture of them, here, go, someone, maybe another couple you went out with, or whether it's in any sense, remind you of them. They will be thinking of you because you will strongly feel that visual that you saw, and you will be thinking of them. There's a lot of mental telepathy in this, just a lot of mental telepathy. And a lot of people have that. This is someone you feel really, really connected to, and that's the important point here. When you feel really connected to somebody and you're thinking about them, they are thinking about you. They really are, and when they come into your mind, and I can't say this strongly, and you don't want to think about them, and they just pop up, and maybe sometimes a vision of them pops up in front of your eyes, especially when you're having a conversation with someone, and it reminds you again of something. And especially if you break up, and no matter what has happened, in a relationship, I know people have been together almost 10 years, they've broken up 10 times, they've been apart maybe a year or two. Things have happened in the relationship, things you wouldn't expect to happen. Someone was either going out with someone, they found them on the internet in many situations, very much they found them that way, or then they go back together and they try and make it work, and it doesn't. And there could have been a restraining order, there could have been police called, there could have been many, many things could have happened. Yet you always seem to go back together. It doesn't always work, and it's a really kindred spirits, and you're really, really connected, but you do think of them, and they think of you, and it's all the time, and they are thinking about you. They are really, really thinking about you. Remember, any communication in any situation, even if you haven't talked for 3 months or longer, it's a sign that you like each other. If you hear from them, it's a sign they're thinking of you, and they really are thinking about you. They want you to be thinking about them. And a lot of times the person wants you to call them. They want you to communicate with them. They don't want to be the first one to do it. People are very funny. Their egos are very funny. They can keep you from going back together. So think about that one. Connection, and to intuition. Connection is energy. Your connection is energy, and it's something that you two have together. You didn't plan on it, it didn't happen. You just did, and it probably happened the minute you saw each other. You kind of went, not right away, but maybe right away, you just, something about he or her, you wanted to ask them, you wanted to say hi, start a little conversation. It's in a grocery store, whether it's in a club dancing, whatever, and that connection has never, ever really gone away. And the visual part is so tough. When you see each other, it starts all over again, and the thinking starts all over again on both sides, and they're thinking of you, and you're thinking of them. And a lot of times, you or they could be thinking without the other person thinking, but as you think about them for a little bit, it comes into their mind. It actually comes into their mind. The key to this is, and as I said, excuse my reading, you see, and you're just meant to be together. You're just meant to be together, and no matter what, you can't. Maybe after 6 to 10 years, it's still positive. It's still very possible and positive. I can't explain it, but that's what happens. And they're probably meant to be together. You may not end up together, but you were meant to be. If you go on for even, I'd say, 5, 6 years, and you're still back and forth, but you're still together many times. And the physical, and usually the physical attraction is so strong, is very strong. But remember, no matter how many other people you see, they see, and if you're the person asking this question, you probably aren't seeing other people, because no matter who you go with, no matter who you talk to, you compare them to this other person. And even if it isn't a good relationship, you still compare them, and they never compare. It's a man with a woman, she's not as pretty, she doesn't have the nice ways that you do, he just isn't the man that you want him to be, doesn't give you the attention you want, or it gives you too much attention, but it's just not like the person we're asking about. Are they thinking about you? And this never will quit until you go with someone else and they do compare, but that's very far and few between. Actually, this really only happens once in a lifetime as far as this real connection. And if you pass it by, you pass it by, but it'd be a very sad thing to pass by, because there's love there, a real love that's very deep. And they're constantly in your mind, yours. And you, no matter what, you are connected. And it's just meant to be. It's just really, really meant to be. And if you'd like to call for a reading on this, I should put the number out. It's 800-541-6999. And if you say you called from YouTube, and your first-time caller, will give you $10 off the regular first-time caller for this week. This week coming now. And this is September 2nd today, so it'll be till the 9th. But thank you again for all your comments, and thank you for your views. And if you do like it, please suggest it to your friends, and do subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.